Good evening, Tallahassee, and happy Monday. I'm student meteorologist Genevieve Rejock giving you your weeknight weather. Let's check out that beautiful sun soon to be setting in the background over Doak Campbell Stadium. Currently, quite a summer temperature of 88 degrees, partly cloudy. Not too much wind, but we do have some east-northeast at 9 miles per hour. So overall, pretty summer-like here in Tallahassee, but that will change as we go into the weekend. 88 here in Tallahassee. A little bit cooler down by the coast at Apalachicola at 83 degrees, Live Oak 82, just a little bit nicer. Future radar, we will be clear of rain for the foreseeable future until Thursday when we could see some pop-up showers, so keep your umbrella in your backpack then. Tonight's temperatures, Tallahassee 69 degrees, little warmer down by the coast. Overall, a nice night to get out. Tomorrow, 89 degrees is our high, and we'll be discussing that fall front coming into the weekend. All that and more on FSU Weather. And I'm back here with Oceana.
Yes, thanks for that wonderful overview of the local. I know it's been pretty nice out lately. I have definitely felt some of that fall weather.
Yes, that fall weather has been here for the most part for the past week or so. Today, we are seeing those temperatures into the high 80s. I don't know about you, Oceana, but I was sweating just a little bit on the way over here.
Yeah, honestly, like this morning, I was walking to my class and it was awesome. I had a sweatshirt on. On my way home from class, just in that hour, I felt the change in temperature and it was not the best.
Yes, it's pretty drastic when you're outside walking to class, but those temperatures will change going into the weekend as we see some low temperatures, maybe getting to the low 50s. We'll see maybe 55 as we'll see on our 7-day later in the local segment, but
I'm excited to see that 50-degree weather. I mean, honestly, that's like my favorite temperature.
Really?
It's the 50s.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's very solid, especially for this weekend.
Of course.
It'd be perfect temperature.
For that football game, hopefully a nice breeze, a nice temperature, that would be ideal.
Definitely.
But for now, we'll send it to the wall with Nico.
Thank you, Genevieve and Oceana. We're going to start with our live look at Doak Campbell Stadium right now. It's sunny. We don't see very many clouds at all. There's a couple out there, but it's a pretty nice evening to be outside, just a little bit warm, 88 degrees, partly cloudy. Our winds are out of the east-northeast at 9 miles an hour, so slight breeze. But when it's 88, you're just going to feel the heat when you're walking outside. It's a little bit too hot for this time of the year. We actually ended up hitting 90 degrees today. Another 90-degree day. This should be the last week for quite some time where we're going to have the potential to see 90s, but a high of 90 and a low of 69 is more like a summer-like day than what you would be expecting to see in early October. We're about 5 degrees warmer than average. At least we didn't hit our record of 97, which we did in 2019, where I was here for that day, and it was not nice. It was very, very hot. But currently it's around 88 degrees in Tallahassee. Along the coast, it's a little bit cooler because there's even a slight sea breeze today. So Apalachicola, you're at 83. Donaldsonville, you're at 87. Thomasville's a little bit cooler as well, but 82. Still pretty warm for this time of the year. Our dew points, however, Monticello continues to read a little bit higher than it actually is, but otherwise we're seeing mid to upper 60s for our dew points. You're still talking about warm and humid conditions. Dew points nearly at 70 in Perry. This is very, very humid for this time of the year, but we are only going to be dealing with it for this week, and then we're going to get a little bit drier and cooler. Our winds right now are out of the east-northeast for the most part, as I alluded to earlier. Closer to the coast, they're more out of the east with the sea breeze, and they're also a little bit lower right now, but you can feel that breeze out of the east-northeast if you are walking around outside. As you can see on the radar, you can see where the wind's coming from, but these are not rain showers. This is just ground clutter. We don't have any rain anywhere in the viewing area today. The only rain is way, way out here in southern Georgia, and maybe a few showers that dissipated earlier, but these are very light and they're not going to last much more than 5 minutes if you do get hit by them. Looking through the rest of the day, however, we're not going to see much in the way of anything except maybe a couple clouds and maybe a hit or miss shower tomorrow afternoon, but I'm going to give that only about a 10% chance or so of happening. I'm not too concerned about the rain, but always be better safe than sorry. And the rainfall graphic doesn't have this on here, but I can pretty much say it's going to be 0 pretty much everywhere through tomorrow, and even through Sunday as well. We're not going to see much in the way of rain. Now, if we get to the end of next week, that's where we have our next potential big system coming in. But tomorrow, if you're going to be walking your dog, it's going to be nice in the morning. That's going to be the time to do it. 67 degrees at 7 a.m., but we warm up to near 80 by noon. So if you're going out in the afternoon, it's going to be hot, and it's not going to feel as nice to do that. And especially if your dog has a lot of fur, it's not going to feel nice for them either. Tonight, we're looking upper 60s to near 70 degrees, especially closer to the coast. Our warmest lows expected tonight, 71. So closer to the Gulf, it's going to be warm tonight. And looking at the week ahead, you can see we have a potential to hit 90 again tomorrow. Forecast for 89. If it gets just a little bit more than expected, we're going to have another 90-degree day tomorrow. We have a chance to have another 90-degree day on Friday, but a little bit less likely. The cold front comes through on Saturday, and then Sunday and Monday we're expecting fall to hit for a couple days. Those will be our coldest 2 days since the spring. Maybe some clouds coming in ahead of our next system next Wednesday. But now I'm going to pass things off to Genevieve.
Yeah, thank you, Nico. We will see that fall front roll in as we go into the weekend, but unfortunately we will have to get over the quite summer-like temperatures that we are seeing today before we get that relief and that nice spooky weather for October. Tallahassee currently 88 degrees we see over that Capitol building. Miami's looking so beautiful with the water. Jacksonville, our producer Priscilla's hometown, looking quite nice. Overall, nice sun shining over all of our Florida cities. Current conditions for the Sunshine State. We're seeing that 86 down in Key West, so pretty nice conditions for Key West where you go to enjoy yourself and get a nice tan and go into the water. But for those of us here in school, maybe in Tampa at USF or here in Tallahassee at FSU, that walk to class does get quite uncomfortable when it is 88 degrees and it is October. Our dew points following that down in southern Florida. 70-degree dew point, that means it's quite close to the temperature, which means the humidity is a really high percentage, which your hair is going to frizz up. It's not going to be great as you head out the door for work, or you're coming home and you're just quite sweaty and uncomfortable. The heat index is following what the temperatures really feel like, so coupled with conditions like cloud cover and rain. 90 in Miami, 94 in Key West. Reminder, it is October, so that is not perfect for these holiday months we're trying to get into in fall, the season of fall that we all look forward to so much. Our Florida satellite and radar, we are missing some data currently, but we do expect some pop-up showers going through central Florida and over into Tallahassee on Thursday, as well as our 72. Our rainfall forecast, Tallahassee, we will be nice until that game day where hopefully we get a win. The city of Miami, where I am from, that sun will be shining, but 91 degrees for both Friday and Saturday. Try to get to the beach if you can. Tampa, everyone's favorite city for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Love sports over there. We are into the upper 80s and 91 as well for tomorrow. Orlando, go to Disney if you'd like. Maybe have one of those portable fans that I see a lot of people having because it is quite hot. We could see a 20% rain chance for tomorrow, so maybe keep an umbrella on you if you can. Jacksonville, we're into the mid-80s, so overall, summer conditions, but it could be better. Pensacola, feel free to get to that beach, as I know the Panhandle lovers love to do, to go to Pensacola Beach. And tonight's forecast, we're seeing slight chill into the upper 60s and low 70s. Tomorrow's forecast, 89 here in Tallahassee. Now, the national Oceana.
Yeah, let's zoom out a little bit to the entire United States here. We are seeing some hot spots in Texas. That is very expected. But over here in the northwest region, we do have some 60s, but all across the board, it is quite warm right here. Our dew points aren't really showing up right now, but there is going to be a lot of moisture ahead of this cold front coming in over here in the Midwest area. So we do see we are going to have high pressure behind the cold front, but ahead of that we are going to expect a lot of rain. So as you can see, we have a severe thunderstorm watch in the Texas-Oklahoma area, but mostly just some watches and warnings in that small area. That low pressure will be bringing forth thunderstorms, so prepare if you are in that area. For our storm outlook in that surrounding area on that Oklahoma-Texas border, that red spot is where you're going to see some moderate to enhanced risk. So though if you live in that area, that is definitely where you should take note. All across this region though, it is a non-severe to marginal outlook as far as severe thunderstorms. So there's really not a whole lot to look out for unless you're in these brightly colored areas. So some main hazards to look out for is going to be some damaging winds, potential hail, isolated tornadoes. These are some things to look out for today and going into tonight. Tomorrow, these risks will decrease. We are going to see all around the board non-severe. So those enhanced and moderate risks are going to definitely die down into tonight and into tomorrow. But if you are in that area as of right now, that is the time to take cover. And for our drought, hopefully some of this rain and that cold front will bring some relief to this area with a lot of drought going on here in Houston and Dallas, and really a lot of the United States is seeing very dry conditions. So that is definitely something to heed warning to as well. Definitely take precautions if you are in a drought area. Right here, this dark red is extreme drought conditions, and I know that area has been experiencing that for a long time now. So definitely watch out, heed to those fire warnings, and don't light any fires, conserve water, all of those tips and tricks that you have probably taken note of already. For our 72-hour rainfall forecast, unfortunately, it is not going to show, but like I had mentioned a few times before, most of that moisture is going to be coming through this Albuquerque, Kansas City, Dallas, all around the Midwest, and behind it in this northwest region over here in Utah and Colorado, you are going to see some drier conditions. So hopefully it will be a little bit more dry in those areas with some high pressure. Over here in the eastern United States, we really haven't seen a whole lot going on there as far as severe weather. So I haven't really mentioned it too much. Some things to note though, tonight, 60s all around the east. These are really nice temperatures in my conditions, in my opinion. In the northwest region, we have some 40s. That's awfully cold for tonight, so definitely bring a jacket if you are planning on going outside tonight in those areas. For tomorrow, we are going to see very similar temperatures to today. So here in good old Tallahassee, 89 degrees, and then over here in San Francisco, Los Angeles on the west coast, we are seeing upper 80s, very dry conditions. Over here in the north, Minneapolis, all of this on the Canada region is going to be quite cold. A little something to look at here, we are very above average as far as temperatures in this Midwest region, so definitely take note of that for this time of year. So on the different topic of above average temperatures, Genevieve and Nico, what's going on with the snow 40 years ago?
Well, snow is absolutely something that us Floridians don't really experience, but we do have to think about for our friends up in the north, specifically northeast, and over to the Midwest.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it may be October 4th, but it's not early. It's not too early for them to have snow. We saw it 3 years in a row up in that part of the country in 87, 88, and 89.
Yep, starting in 1987, that snow inched over into Springfield, Vermont, bringing a whopping 21 inches and injured 332 people, unfortunately, and costs $17 million in damage, which we here in Florida always think about damage that is from hurricanes, but something like a blizzard can also lead to a lot of money being spent.
Yeah, that's definitely true, especially when it's this early in the season. These people probably weren't prepared. They probably didn't have their stuff ready for the winter this early in October, and you're having 21 inches of snow. You're talking about almost 2 feet of snow, which is a lot at any time of the year, especially this early in the season.
Absolutely, and then in 1988, we saw North Dakota and Nebraska recording low temperatures for the day, getting down to 17 below zero. So really quite freezing temperatures, far below freezing, I should say.
Yeah, we're definitely talking about extremely cold temperatures when you're talking that cold in early October. And that same low pressure brought snow and sleet as well to parts of northern Michigan as well. And then 1989, we got to deal with unseasonably cold weather again in the state, also in the north central U.S., with freezing temperatures across all the way from North Dakota to Michigan and even Ohio, which had a bunch of record lows, including Minnesota, which was the coldest spot that day at 19 degrees, which is well below freezing that early in the season.
Yes, Nico. And so as we are inching into fall, and then as we escape fall and head into the cold winter up north, please be careful when you're shoveling your driveway. Please be set for your canned foods in the case that you cannot get outside. Anything else, Nico?
Yeah, it's definitely, we're getting close enough to the time of the year. I haven't seen any major snowstorms in the weather models yet, but we're getting to that time of the year where we need to be prepared up in the northern part of the country in case we do get a storm.
Yes, but for now we'll pass it off to Oceano at the wall for a spotlight on West Palm Beach, our favorite quarterback, Jordan Travis's home.
Thank you, Genevieve and Nico, for that very interesting topic of the hour. So we are going to travel over to West Palm Beach, which is quite far from here in Tallahassee, but still beautiful nonetheless. We are seeing mostly clear conditions. It is 81 degrees there with this gorgeous sunset going on in the background. It is beautiful conditions over in West Palm as usual, I would say. Temperatures over in West Palm are pretty much on average. Their high today is 88 degrees, which is a little bit above the average, but only by 2 degrees. And the low is 74, just under the average. For the day planners, so 7 a.m. tomorrow, it is going to be 79 degrees. Honestly, if you're going to get outside tomorrow earlier is better. It is going to be very, very warm. By noon, it will hit 84, and at 5 p.m., it will be 83 degrees. But overall, very sunny, very gorgeous outside, so definitely get outside if you are out there. Over here, our dew points very high as well, so since they're quite close to that temperature, it is going to be very moist outside. Like Genevieve said, your hair is going to frizz up. It's not the best conditions, quite uncomfortable, but just something to keep in mind as you go through your day. Some of these scattered showers coming in from the East Coast is going to bring some of that moisture like I'd mentioned. So there's just going to be some scattered showers, nothing too severe to look out for, but overall going to be a little rainy here and there. We do see a non-severe storm outlook, which means definitely going to be some thunderstorms, but nothing crazy. Definitely carry that umbrella if you are out and about tomorrow in West Palm Beach or anywhere on the East Coast, actually. We have some rip current statements. This is definitely thanks to that little bit of weather that's pulling in from the Atlantic. We have a small craft advisory for the ocean over there, but really all these alerts are just until tomorrow. For the weekend in West Palm Beach, Thursday and Friday, actually the entire next 3 days are going to be very, very sunny. Sunday is when that chance of rain might increase a little bit. We are looking at 30% chance of rain on Sunday, but overall we are seeing pretty sunny conditions for the next 3 days. We have lows in the 70s all across the area and highs in the upper 80s, which is very, very warm in my opinion. For tonight, we've got 70 in Indiantown, which is the lowest here on this map, and 76 is the hot spot in West Palm, but really overall it is all going to be just in the 70s region. So let's take it back to Tallahassee.
Yes, thank you, Oceana. It's going to be warm in Tallahassee too. Looking around the area, you can see the sun coming out. It's been out all day. It's been a pretty warm day, and we're talking about another similar story here tomorrow. Looking at our local radar, the ground clutter has not been showing on this one, but that's really all we're dealing with on the radar. We're not dealing with anything locally in terms of precipitation. We're not going to be dealing with anything locally besides maybe a few passing showers. As you can see on this, you can see a few passing showers potentially late tomorrow, but it's not going to be much of anything. It's going to be light, and that's pretty much about it. We're not going to be dealing with any severe weather, and we're probably not even going to see thunderstorms tomorrow. If anything, it will be a 5-minute light shower, and that's about it for tomorrow. But as we talk about our upcoming weekend, we shouldn't be dealing with any storms like it says here. We'll be dealing more with the 10% chance of storms on Thursday and Friday, if anything. Saturday, we have no chance. The cold front passes through dry. So if you have plans to go to the game versus Virginia Tech on Saturday, you should be fine. And it's going to be a little bit nicer than on Thursday and Friday. It'd be even nicer if the game was Sunday where it's a little bit cooler, but at least you're not going to be frying in almost 90-degree heat like it would be if it was Thursday or Friday, since this is an afternoon game. So definitely you're going to be dealing with nice weather. But if you're going out tonight, I know tonight's karaoke night for some people, 67 degrees, partly cloudy conditions. It's going to be nice to even be outside. It's not going to be blazing hot at night, and you'll have a little bit of a breeze out of the east tonight too, which will definitely it'll feel pretty refreshing. So if you have plans to go out, that'll feel nice. If you're going to Strozier, it's going to be 78 degrees this evening. It's not going to look like this as you go overnight, but if you go there this evening, it will look pretty similar to this. You're going to be dealing with this outside. If you go inside, it's obviously going to be cooler, but it's not going to be too bad of a walk if you need to study at Strozier tonight. So definitely get that done. And the wind should be calm here on campus this evening. Maybe a slight breeze, but usually the wind calms down overnight. So as we talk about what to wear though, tomorrow is going to be 88 degrees. It's going to be warm, so wear something light. Maybe not something black like in this picture, but definitely something short-sleeved and light material like it. Just a lighter color would be a good idea because it's going to be hot and you don't want to be absorbing the sunlight tomorrow with that hot weather expected. Looking for our drive cast, if you're going on a drive tomorrow, it's a good day to do it. It's going to get up to 86 degrees, so it'll be warm. But if you have your air conditioner turned on, you shouldn't feel that, and you won't have to deal with any hazardous conditions on the roadways due to the weather tomorrow at least. So that's definitely good if you have any plans to be out and about. And if you're going to be biking maybe not as much of a good way to travel tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit hot. Looking at tonight's forecast, though, it's going to get down to 68. It's going to get down to 67 and 69 closer to the coast. We're talking about upper 60s pretty much area-wide. But now I'm going to send things off to Genevieve for one last look at our local.
Thank you, Nico. And I really like that you shared with us that you shouldn't be wearing dark clothing in this weather. You're really going to suffer just a bit. Try to wear a lighter color because that sun right behind me is really, really strong, and also sunscreen is something to always think about. No matter if it's fall or winter, we have to protect our skin, especially at 86 degrees, partly cloudy, though the sun is really strong. That UV is probably still up there before the sun starts to set. FSU Sportsplex, if you are thinking about playing an IM game with maybe you have a club or an organization that you love to play with, now is the night. It's really hot, so do try to have that sunscreen on you, but no rain, so try to get out there if you can. Panama City Beach down by the coast, looking really nice. Some clouds in the sky, St. George as well, and then Lake Bradford here at the Res, looking beautiful. So hopefully if you could get out there tomorrow afternoon after class, that would be really, really nice. Local radar here in Tallahassee and the Big Bend region, we are nice and clear currently. We do have some issues with our radar, but for today, we are looking really nice. For tomorrow, that isn't the case, but please try to keep an umbrella just in case that pop-up shower does come. 88 here in Tallahassee, 87 up in Donaldsonville, and down by the coast, just a little bit cooler. Apalachicola is 83 degrees, so quite a lot of heat, but we will have some relief coming into the weekend. Tonight's forecast, as Nico was mentioning, try to go to that karaoke at the Bark. I know a nice little walk on over would be really beautiful. So 68 degrees here in Tallahassee tonight. You won't need a jacket unless you are someone that just freezes like from absolutely nothing, from a small breeze. Apalachicola, 69 degrees. Overall, a pretty nice night, but it is our highs that are really quite not ideal for October. For our day planner forecast, 9 a.m. If you do have a dog or a pet you'd like to walk, I would say the earlier the better before the heat starts to come in. It'll be partly cloudy for majority of the morning and into the afternoon. Now here we have that radar working, those clouds coming through, but overall really nice until Thursday, that midday and into the afternoon. We do see those pop-up showers. Tomorrow's forecast, close to 90, but not quite. 89 here in Tallahassee. try to get down to the coast if you do have no class tomorrow, if you are ever so lucky, because it'll be 84 at the high. And the week ahead, we're looking really nice for our lows going into next week. 51 degrees on Monday. But Nico, Oceana, what was your favorite part about the show?
Thanks, Genevieve. I think my personal favorite part of the show is the look ahead at next week because I'm just so excited for the 50-degree weather.
Yeah, it's going to feel really nice, and the bigger thing especially to me is going to be when it's in the 70s during the day. Those Sunday and Monday, we won't be having to deal with that heat and getting sweaty as soon as we walk outside, and it's going to feel really nice.
Yeah, I agree. That 70-degree weather when it's dry is really the game changer for me, and especially in October, I'm not liking these near 90 temperatures.
Yeah.
It's definitely not my favorite.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit warm for what we usually are dealing with in early October, but it looks like we should get seasonable. We do warm up again in the middle of next week, but maybe long range, looks like we might have another front at the end of next week too.
Oh, well, I hope so, honestly. As long as we don't have snow.
Yeah, we're definitely
I'm
not
not
going to
into
have to deal
snow.
with any snow. I think snow is pretty cool, but we're not going to have to worry about that in Florida, I don't think. At least not in October. If anything, maybe flurries in January if we're lucky.
Oh, I really hope we're lucky. I have actually rarely seen snow. I've only seen snow once, so.
I think I've only seen it 4 times maybe.
That's more than me.
Highly unlikely it's going to happen this year, even if it is a little bit cooler than
Darn
normal.
it. Well, a girl can dream. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
And you can always like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And make sure to watch us live on YouTube, which you probably are, at FSU Weather.
You can always follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather as well. If you have any cool pictures to send us, definitely send them to us there. We'll see cool storm pictures or any cloud pictures, any weather pictures really. We're going to think they're really cool if you send them to any of those.
Yeah, and definitely make sure to follow us on TikTok as well at FSU Weather. We do have some fun videos on there if you wanted to keep in touch with all of us here on FSU Weather. But we're going to send it off the show with one last look at our 7-day forecast.